And hello YouTube, and welcome back to another episode of The Zone TV Movie Entertainment with me, your host Jonathan, once again bringing you my thoughts and review for today's episode of WandaVision Season 1 Episode 8. And buckle up folks, because there's a long ride ahead of you, and let's talk about this. And if you have not caught up to WandaVision yet, what are you waiting for? Pause this, come back later, go watch WandaVision, catch up, because there's a lot to talk about here. This might actually be the best episode so far, because for me personally, my favorite episode before this was the Halloween episode, and then last week's episode was kind of bonkers in its own little weird way, and now this, I think it just took it to a whole nother level. So, if you don't know about WandaVision yet, okay, so, spoilers. Okay, so, last week's episode, we got the big reveal that Agnes is none other than Agnes Harkness, which is, she's a witch. And she's actually, in the comic book, she's actually has been known to be kind of like with the X-Men. She's helped Wanda focus her powers in some, versions of the comics. She's also taking care of Mr. Fantastic's son in some comic books as well, but more on that later. Anyway, so we get to first see Agnes kind of in a backstory. We kind of get a little backstory of what she's been doing before she met up with Wanda and got herself into the situation that she's in. So we go to the Salem witch trials, which is in 17 or even 1694 or whatever year it was, back in the Salem witch trials. She's being judged. Not by people because she's a witch, not by the town folks or any of that stuff. She's being judged by her own, I guess, kind witches. And she kind of did something bad. Kind of like, not like using her powers for evil. No, she basically kind of like cheated in a way. She kind of learned some magic that she wasn't supposed to be ready for until a certain, I guess, level. And the council pretty much found her guilty of that. And they were pretty much ready to burn her at the stake in a way where, with magic. So you see her tied up on, with stakes and all that, the way Salem witch trials used to be, and they were like literally trying to zap her into, I guess, destruction or whatever. Fortunately, didn't work. Agnes, her powers are ridiculous, or Agatha, depends on how you want to call it. Agnes, she just started taking the powers from them, sucking their life and just sucking all the powers up for herself, including her own mother, which was like, okay, that was a little dark. So we got to see that. And it goes back to the modern day where we get to see her talk to Wanda. Wanda getting ready to throw down with her, and nope, can't work. She's in the spell room where her magic does not work because the person who put the spell on it only can use their magic, and that was Agnes. So we got to see that. And then Agnes takes Wanda down memory lane to figure out how Westview and and Jersey and all the people up there, how did that become? How did Wanda able to take an entire city and make it to her own liking in a way? How did her kids come about? How did Vision suddenly popped up? So we go down memory. First stop, her childhood. We get to see a glimpse of Wanda's childhood in action. Basically, when she was a kid, seeing her, we got to see her mother and father for the first time. Which, by the way, was not the same people who are in the commercials. Because a lot of people saw and thought that was the theory going around, that the people in the commercials, the man and woman in the commercials for all the episodes, was Wanda's parents, in her own mind, creating, them being more happy than they usually are. But, where she grew up, there's war going on. But Wanda and her family always had, I guess, movie nights or something like that. And well, not really movies, it was more TV nights. So, and then they got to see all the old classic television shows. And that's where this came from. We got to see why Wanda truly cherishes the television stuff, and why every time we get to see an episode of WandaVision, it feels like it's a television show, because Wanda grew up watching it with Pietro and her parents, even though there was a war literally outside their window happening. And of course, we got to see the tragic part of it as well, which where her parents were pretty much blown up to Kingdom Come by a Stark missile, supposedly. And another Stark missile showed up as well, but kept blinking, but nothing happened. Agnes looks at it and goes wondering, okay, did Wanda stop that from blowing up her and her brother? No idea. No explanation about that. I believe maybe she did. Maybe Wanda has powers all along and we just never seen it until the next side of this journey continues, where she ends up in a Hydra base lab, where she ends up becoming who she is with the Mind Stone. The Mind Stone shows up. We get to see Wanda become who she is through the Mind Stone. And also, she gets kind of like a little vision, no pun intended, of herself in a silhouette of her. And if you look closely, you kind of see a silhouette of Wanda, but with the classic Scarlet Witch look, which is kind of awesome. So maybe that's a future thing. Maybe she's going to see herself wear that and call herself that moving forward. Who knows? We have to wait and see. But, we do get, Hydra looks at them, looks at Wanda 1 minute, staring at the Mind Stone, which is in the scepter at that time. So this is during Captain America and Winter Soldier. And she just falls down. They look in the security cameras. They see her walk into the room and then falls down. So a piece of that footage has been erased, maybe because of the Mind Stone, or the Mind Stone doesn't want the people to know about her special powers at that point, because at that point, that's when she became who she is. So, we move forward again. We get to see her with Vision in Civil War, before the whole Sokovia moment, where she's talking to Vision about why does she likes watching this stuff, why does, she's feeling down for what just happened in Sokovia. With the whole explosion. She thinks that's her fault. She felt sorry. She felt very guilty as well, because all the people she killed because of crossbones. And that, in Civil War. And, we got to see a little moment between, she's explaining to Vision, oh yeah, this is comedy, We get to see one of the shows, I think it was Malcolm in the Middle. Not really sure what show it was. And then she's just watching, talking to Vision, and you can see the chemistry just starts growing from there. So that was pretty cool. And of course, we got to see the next stage in this little trip to memory lane. We got to see Wanda entering SHIELD headquarters. SWORD headquarters. I bad, sorry. SWORD headquarters. She goes in there, you figure, oh, whoa, you're not supposed to come in here. No attacks, no nothing. She just literally walks in. Welcome, come inside, have fun, yeah. She goes and meets the director of SWORD, which is Hayward. We all know who he is. A lot of people think he's bad. A lot of people think he's kind of shady. I think he is kind of shady in a different way, but I'll explain that in a minute. But, so yeah, she goes there. She's like, hey, listen, I just want Vision's body. I know you guys have him, whatever. I just want to bury him so I can move on with my life. She's still grieving the fact that he's gone. And this is after Endgame. Okay, because this is when she came back after she got blipped out of existence. If you listen to it, she even says, yeah, I've been gone for a while. I never gave him a proper burial. I want to give him a proper burial. So she meets Hayward. Hayward takes Wanda to Vision's body, or the Vision as he calls it. And, we get to see Vision again. But he's in pieces, like literally in pieces. Like you see his head severed, his arms are like spread on different tables, his legs somewhere else. Like they are literally experimenting on him, and they dissected him a lot. And what are they looking for? Obviously, they're probably just trying to take out the vibranium that he has inside of him. I think Hayward said something in the vein of, yeah, he's worth $3 billion of vibranium, or whatever, how much it is. Excuse me. So, we got to see that, and she just begs. She goes, listen, I just want to bury him. I don't want to do anything else. And he does something shady here, but, it's kind of weird, because he goes, really? You don't want to do anything with him? kind of sets up the fact that maybe he knew that Wanda was gonna do like what she did with the town. Kind of weird, but yeah, that was very interesting. I personally think he's a Skrull. I know what you're saying. Wait. Well, how can it be possible? Well, Nick Fury was a Skrull at one point. Talos did pretend to be, Nick Fury. He still is Nick Fury to the world. And while Nick Fury's in space dealing with the sword stuff, the headquarters up there, dealing with the galactic side of, the threats about to happen, while Hayward and the members of Sword in the ground or on Earth, they deal with the supernatural elements of what's going to be happening on Earth. Maybe they know something, maybe they don't. Who knows? But that's just my guess. Maybe he's a Skrull. Maybe they have a purpose for why they have Vision's body. Remember, Darcy did look it up, and she did say that there's something strange. But with Hayward wanting Vision's body back, at one point they did want his body back. But why did they want his body back? Nobody knows until we find out to the end of the episode. But yeah, and I'll go for my theory there. So then after that, we get to see Wanda go to the town, and she has like this little like a little blueprint, and it says they love home or whatever it said. I forgot what it said actually said, but she and Vision was supposed to build a home there to live in peace. The Sokovias is up and active. And this is before Infinity War. They had this whole master plan to disappear, settle down and, have a life and try to play low key. And everything got destroyed because of what happened with Infinity War and also Endgame. Vision's gone now, so she can't do anything. So she gets there, she just starts, I guess, getting emotion. And then her powers go wanky. And then she just takes the whole town and changes it into the way she knows and what she loves, basically her sitcoms and all that stuff that she used to watch as a little girl. So basically, what I'm trying to say is she created Vision again in her own mind, which I did say in my other videos before, if you've been watching, that I knew she was making, she's the reason this town exists like the way it is. She did this. She created Vision. Vision is in her mind. She didn't take Vision's body and changed and fixed him up and made him all better. No. She basically took a mental picture of her brain of what she remembered from Vision, copied, printed him out like a 3D print of him, and that's what she's been hooking up with the whole time. Throughout this entire episode 1 all the way to now, Vision has been basically inside Wanda's head, and that's what we've been seeing. So the Vision from Age of Ultron, Civil War, Infinity War, dead. That Vision is gone. Will he come back? Stay tuned. I'll let you know. And then we go back to Agnes saying, "Yeah, so this was all you." So apparently, what Agatha wants is, apparently there's I guess Wanda's kind of like a prophet. Apparently there's this prophet is supposed to be a powerful witch that's supposed to come and bring in chaos magic. Now, in the comics, chaos magic is the magic that they say that it's in the MCU kind of, or in the Marvel world. That's the magic that Scarlet Witch actually uses, chaos magic, which is very powerful, very strong, very ancient as well. Then we get to a point where we get to see Wanda chasing after Agnes, and then Agnes has Wanda's children. She has them by, a thread of magic ropes, pulling on them, choking them out. And she goes, "You can use chaos magic. You are the Scarlet Witch." She called her the Scarlet Witch, was just incredible. And I thought every moment of that was just great. And, yeah. And it just, just ends, right there. We have no idea what's going to happen. Vision wasn't in the episode. Darcy wasn't in the episode. We didn't see Monica Rambeau. And we didn't see Agent Woo either. So they should be in the finale next week. Which, by the way, takes place on my birthday. So, yeah. But, yeah, this episode was great. Because, we get to see, Wanda's childhood all the way through now. And, yeah, sure. Her childhood, she lived in an old, broken down apartment where there's literally a war outside, but yet her comfort zone was those television shows that she grew up with. That's why she made the town that it was. You know, the whole black and white stuff. That's what she grew up watching. She just had her fond memories of her family. And now, you know, now it's going to get complicated because who knows what next week's episode is going to bring. This is going to be the last episode. And I don't think it's going to be well. And I'll explain to you in a minute about that. And then, of course, we get the after credit. The after credit, we get to see the town, well, not the town folks, sorry. We get to see Hayward and Sword dealing with their, you know, they're getting ready to activate their secret weapon, you know. What's the secret weapon? Well, they got white vision. They have brought back vision. But they needed a power source to activate him. And they finally have it. Now, do you remember the episode when they send the drone out to, quote-unquote, attack Wanda? Well, and then Wanda kind of like magic used it on her, used the chaos magic to destroy the drone. Well, I don't know how. Don't really explain it, but the powers that Wanda has possessed from, you know, the Mind Stone, her chaos magic as they call it now, kind of was attached to the drone, and I guess that's what they used for the energy to bring back or bring up online the white vision that we now get to see. So basically, meaning next week's episode, we're going to see two visions fight. We're going to see Wanda fight Vision, a bad version of him. You know, she is in for a bad trip next week, and it's going to be sad. And it's going to be heartbreaking as well, because, so that, you know, when I just said about her bringing Vision back, you know, through her mind, that means her children are the same thing. Her children are not real. Once that whole dome breaks apart, or whatever it is, we're going to see her children disappear. And you know Wanda's probably going to lose it. Will she turn to the bad guy and become the villain for Doctor Strange 2? I believe so. I believe she will, only for a little bit. I don't think she's going to go bad fully, because Mordo is supposed to be a part of it. And remember the last time we saw Mordo, he was in Doctor Strange 1, where he was going around destroying people with magic powers. So I would assume Mordo is going to get a whiff of Wanda and maybe Agatha, if she's actually a part of it. I'm not really sure, but I would assume she is, and try to take them out, both of them, and then Doctor Strange is going to have to save Wanda, and then Wanda's going to turn back to being good. So she might go bad just for a couple of minutes, I would say, but yeah, it's not going to look good for her. She's going to end up losing Vision again. She's going to have to kill the white Vision, because that's not really his vision, her vision, and she doesn't want his body to be used like that. So I would assume she's just going to be like, no. And then she's going to have to say goodbye to her children. You know, they're going to be dusted just like how they were, just like how Infinity War was, how she got dusted. It's just going to bring bad memories for her, and it's just going to be heartbreaking to watch. But I mean, who knows what's going to happen? Maybe her kids are real, we just don't really know. I doubt it, but I'm putting strongly heavy on the fact that he's Vision, the kids are done for. They're done for, you know. And yeah, it's such a good episode. I really enjoyed it. So yeah, I really do feel sorry for Wanda, and Elizabeth Olsen just crushes his role. She just crushes it. Paul Bettany as well. You know, they're both great. Their chemistry together is just amazing. But their acting abilities for these characters are like on another level. But you know, Elizabeth Olsen, she's on a whole other level with this whole thing. But yeah, she's just fantastic in this, and I cannot wait to see her in Doctor Strange 2. And I hope she gets to keep the moniker of Scarlet Witch. I hope she calls herself that. You know, maybe she starts to embrace it. Maybe she will, and then maybe she's like, oh, maybe I'll be the Scarlet Witch for a little bit, because she wants to, you know, take out her frustrations of what just happened to her. But then maybe drop it afterwards when she goes back to being a good Avenger girl. But only time will tell. But yeah, now the after credit did say that White Vision, you know, he's coming. So what does that mean? And what happens if they destroy him? You know, maybe they can bring Vision back online or something. the good Vision, the one that we all know and love. Doubt it, but you never know. And I still believe Hayward is a Skrull. He's probably helping out, Nick Fury to figure out what's going on with Wanda. Maybe, Stark left, Nick Fury some information about Wanda or something, and maybe he raised an eyebrow and he's like, "Whoa, we gotta keep an eye on her." Tony Stark never really trusted Wanda, so there's that. She never trusted him either because he was the reason her parents are dead, not physically and that, but mostly emotionally. But yeah, so who knows what's gonna happen moving forward. I do believe that somebody big is coming next week. We are getting somebody big, like Luke Skywalker, Mandalorian level big. So whoever that is, I can't wait. It could be anybody. Could be Doctor Strange, even though he won't be a big surprise. But I do think he's gonna show up next week. It could be Magneto from another universe, maybe. Professor X, maybe he'll be there to calm her down or something. Excuse me. And but yeah, who knows what's gonna happen with this ending. And I just know for a fact it's not gonna end well. And it will lead into either Doctor Strange 2 or Spider-Man 3. I don't think we're gonna see footage, so there's that. Or it might just set up the next Marvel film, which is supposed to be Eternals or Black Widow, whatever timeline order it is. Or maybe it just sets up Falcon and Winter Soldier, or even Hawkeye, the Hawkeye show. We still got the Hawkeye show coming up. For all we know, the ending of WandaVision is the beginning of Hawkeye. Who knows? Maybe he gets a call, or he finds out what's going on with Wanda. Maybe they told him off camera, and then Hawkeye tries to fix this by talking to Wanda. Wanda treats him kind of like a father figure anyway. So maybe it's Hawkeye. Who knows? But all I know is somebody big is coming. I don't think maybe Reed Richards. Maybe they finally found the actor to play Reed Richards. Maybe we'll find out that if Nightmare is a part of this. A lot of people think that Nightmare is actually a part of this, and he's going to be the big bad of Doctor Strange 2. That's a possibility. A lot of people think it's Blue Marvel. Blue Marvel is a friend of Monica Rambeau in the comics, and he's an engineer. Even though he's an electrical engineer in the comics, but they can always change that, so that's something. Maybe Spider-Man shows up for all we know. I doubt that one, but hey, anything's possible. But yeah, they start showing us X-Men characters. I'm just gonna lose it. In a way, we already have 3 of them: Pietro, Wanda, and of course Agnes. So it is possible, but only time will tell. Only time will tell. But man, I don't want it to end. I kind of wanted to keep going, but I feel like the story has to end because there's a lot of things coming up moving forward that we have to continue the story with the MCU. But we will see Wanda again. I just hope we get to see her become the Scarlet Witch and embrace that character eventually. But I don't think she's going to be bad for that long. Maybe she will go bad just for a little bit, but it won't last. That I know for a fact. Not for a fact, but in my heart of hearts, I feel like she's not going to go bad, super bad all the way. But, yeah, should be fun to think about. But, so, leave a comment below. Let me know what you guys thought about the episode. Are you guys excited for it? Are you guys sad that it's ending already? I mean, don't worry, guys. We got Falcon and Winter Soldier next, and that should be awesome. And then we can start the whole, what's going to happen moving forward with these episodes theory. Captain America going to show up? Trust me, it's going to happen. We're all going to be speculating those theories for that stuff. But, yeah, WandaVision so far has been great. I love this episode. And I can't wait to see the finale. I can't wait to see what's going to actually happen. So, leave a comment below. Let me know what you guys thought about it. And stay tuned for more. Thank you very much and have a good day.